All the way here to figure that out.
All right, let's go.
All right, let's do this. I'm gonna dance like all the people who have the people who have all the clothing pages when they do this.
What are we gaming over here?
Yes, that's what
Sit
game
right
show.
there. Come on now.
All right, let's do it. Go.
So I'm looking on. You gotta add
All
me
right,
as a
we're going
mod.
live.
No, you don't have to. Go to your dad's page. Join the live when it shows up. All right.
Just tell me when people start joining. Jim,
Oh, I can see.
let it play.
Hi. All right. Are y'all ready to get started?
Elizabeth.
We waiting a second.
We got 2 people on.
Okay. Who's on?
Probably me and you.
I'm off.
Jasmine's on.
Hey. Hey,
Jazz.
Jasmine. Aren't you working? Welcome to our live. We will go ahead and get started in just a second. We have a couple of questions that people had messaged us, and basically we just want to tell you guys kind of where we are in the process of the coast to coast trip, where we are on the Model T, and the trailer and our team and everything that we've been preparing for the last year and a half. So
It seems like we just did an announcement video last week. That was over a year ago.
Jasmine said don't bring her out.
Yeah, Elizabeth, that we're doing this trip in honor of, is moderating the questions. So
She's waving.
She says hello. So if you have a question or whatever, just type it in and she'll ask it.
It's such a delay though. Like, cause y'all did that like 30 seconds ago, and
I
it's
know.
just now.
It's fine. So
There's 11 people on.
so to give you an update, or to fill you in on some
Wait.
things.
Let's stop. The people who are on, can you go ahead and tell us who you are? If you'll just comment and tell us where you're from, so that way we know who's watching. And also, we may need you on our trip.
And Jasmine still says, will there be snacks?
There will be snacks,
There will
virtual
be
snacks,
snacks.
whatever you guys want, donuts, pizza, whatever. But if when you join, please say who you are and where you're from. Like I said, we're going to be looking at where you are and possibly using you on the trip.
And that's Elizabeth that we're doing the trip in honor of.
Hey, Jay Corman. Hey, Tracy Lowry.
So Elizabeth, tell them how many surgeries, shunt-related surgeries you've had.
19.
19, including heart, spine, and stomach.
And guess what? There's 1 month until the trip.
So that's why we're doing this today. We are exactly 1 month out from making our coast to coast trip.
So give you an update. Some of you may not even know about the trip. We're going to try to take a 1920 Ford Model T that's 103 years old, literally from coast to coast. And 2 guys did this in 2017. They did it in 14 and a half days, and no one has done it solo, only driver, since 1923. So it's been 100 years since anyone's done this solo, and my goal is to do this in 12 days. And we want to raise $10 per mile for the Hydrocephalus Association. And we started out with a very, very little knowledge of a Model T. I've always known about cars, but very little knowledge about anything this old. And I always wanted something that was over 100 years old, so now we have it. And actually have 2. And we've been fortunate enough to really meet some great people along this journey. And we've literally met people coast to coast and even up into Canada. And if nothing else, this has been spectacular so far.
I need to also say that when we went out to find a vehicle, we weren't necessarily looking for a Model T.
No.
It was kind of one of those things like, hey, we've always had some older cars, but let's get like a really old car. So one thing that we decided to do was to kind of look online. Decided that Duesenbergs and things like that were out of our price range.
Yeah, Duesenbergs and Cords and things like that didn't quite fit the
Yes.
the budget that we
So
had.
the Model T did, and we'll talk a little bit more about why the Model T is affordable, and parts fairly readily available. But anyway, when we set out to get a Model T, we had no idea the community that we were about to get into.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably what sucked us in the most, was that immediately people contacted us. The community of people everywhere that we have reached out to about the Model Ts, they've just been willing to assist in any sort of way, with parts, with
especially
labor.
Parts and just suggestions and tips of people that have done long trips before. And again, with parts and knowledge, because there's some things you don't want to tighten all the way on a Model T, such as the frame bolts. Had someone call me yesterday from one of the major parts suppliers and talk to me for about 15 minutes about things like that. And you want to put a bolt on a regular car, you want to do it tight as you can, and or certain torques or whatever. And there's some things on the Model T that are just different, so we're still learning. But as far as parts go, man, we've talked to people. Mark up in Indiana, Kathy hooked us up with him. Dave in California did some wheels for us, special for this trip.
Kathy and Dave in Florida.
Yeah, Kathy and Dave in Florida. Man, that's back in March. February we were invited to come out to Vegas to speak at the Model T meeting in March, and did a podcast up in Canada. And the list just goes on and on to the people that have reached out to us that want to be a part of this. So we thank y'all for joining us on this live event. And if you have any questions, you can start asking them, and we'll keep on rambling on.
Do we have any questions so far?
Only comments I got so far is Jay Corman says hello from Acworth, Georgia.
Jay has definitely been a supporter.
Thank you, Jay. Yeah.
Austin Jambowski says hello from Long something, Georgia.
Thank you. Yeah.
Charlie
Fawcett.
Fawcett.
Jay know each other.
Charlie Fawcett says, "Looking good, friends." And we got Cindy Demetriotis is watching. Eric Shadowan's watching. Emily Curtis Kolb says, "Elizabeth, where do you go to have your surgeries?" I go to Richland in Columbia.
Todd, I want you to talk a little bit about that, about how that started with Elizabeth's journey with hydrocephalus.
Yeah, so Elizabeth was born with hydrocephalus, and she had her first surgery, I think, her shunt at 2 days old, and so she's literally never known anything different than this. And Miss Coker, that said hello a little while ago, she's been someone that we got to know through this, and that, again, the people that have reached out with us with different conditions that we've met, we've been to car shows, and people have just come up to us and like, hey, I didn't even know anybody else knew anything about hydrocephalus. My son or my daughter or my mother or whoever has it, and it's something that you can get at any age. I always refer back to Billy Graham, the preacher. He got it in his 70s, and so again, it's not just children that are born with it. You can develop this condition at any age.
So, for those who don't know, hydrocephalus is an abnormal fluid buildup in it's cerebral spinal fluid in the ventricles of the brain, and so it creates pressure in your head. You can also have normal pressure hydrocephalus, which we found out 1 in 10 diagnoses of dementia can be normal pressure hydrocephalus. But you can develop the condition based off of trauma, at birth. There's lots of ways that you can develop the condition. And so in Elizabeth's case, in a lot of cases, the way to relieve the pressure is by a shunt. So a shunt's placed in the brain to drain the fluid off of the brain. And Elizabeth, when she does have a shunt failure, it's a lot of pressure, headaches, and things like that, vision problems. So, there was the question from Jonathan, the one I sent you. Go back to your messages.
I can't look at that and look at the live at the same time.
Yeah, Jonathan Simpleman messaged a little while ago.
Hold on.
Yeah, I remember. So his question, one of the questions was, why are y'all crazy?
I don't think normally. If you know me at all or know me for the last few years, I try to really think outside the box and then some. Some of the car shows we've done, again, we just try to do things different that gets people's attention. P.T. Barnum being one of my heroes, I guess. Just really tried to think of doing things different that would get people's attention and keep them talking about it for long periods of time. And that's been my goal with everything that we've done to raise money for different situations, different people, different organizations such as this.
Another thing that Jonathan had discussed, don't touch that one. Sorry. One of the things Jonathan Simpleman asked was, is there any way that those watching can provide assistance to us on our trip? Like he said, basically, he knew that we had been planning this for a long time, but what can people watching help us with?
Yeah, if you go to Facebook, which y'all are on Facebook Live now, just go to my page, Todd Touchberry. You can click follow on that, and pinned at the top, if you open it up more, there's a link for the Hydrocephalus Association for the online donations. You can come by Sumter Cut Rate or message me privately. I can give you an address. You can make a check out to Hydrocephalus Association. It is a tax deductible donation, or you can come by if cash is easier, whichever way works for you.
Aunt Beth says yes, marriage counseling. And Charlie Fawcett's question was, what are some of the regular maintenance items that will be addressed daily on the trip?
It's a good question. Definitely keeping it full of oil, because if you know anything about old cars, and especially Model Ts, they leak like crazy. So it usually holds about a gallon of oil, so that's something we'll have to check multiple times per day. Constantly greasing the suspension and rear end and cushions for our butts. Any more questions, Charlie?
So
there's 24 people on here right this second, but
hey,
tell them what made y'all think of this. Show them you have the book that you can kind of refer to.
First of all, thank you to all 24 people who are watching.
Whenever we started,
Charlie said LOL.
Whenever I started thinking about this, we got the first Model T, the one we're going to use for the trip, January or February of last year. Went up to Connecticut to get it, and then when I met Kathy, we went to Florida, met her, picked up a touring car, a 5-passenger touring car, and that was the one I really, this is how far back I started thinking about this, last June or whatever it was. I was going to use that one on a trip, and I realized how much bigger I am than people were back in the teens and 20s, and the truck was just a little bit more comfortable, so we decided to use that one.
Jay Corman says, what items are you missing or do you need before stepping off? Tools, gear, supplies?
Jay is a Model T guy for the other people watching, and so right now I think the only thing we have left to do, we have a fresh engine, fresh transmission, and fresh rear end. Mark Atkins up in Indiana has really helped us out with that, and again, people with parts all across the country to get those parts, engine, driveline put together. I think the only thing we're missing now is fuel. Everything else is in-house, waiting on a few little small parts that I just wanted to replace, such as the engine bolts and stuff, or the engine pan bolts for the frame and everything, engine mounts. And I just wanted to update those and put fresh ones in, just because everything over the last 100 years is mismatched and nothing matched. And I just wanted to make things simple if we had to take it apart again.
The funny thing was, I think when we first started, we started with a complete vehicle. It wasn't like there are Model Ts, in people's backyards and people's barns, and people will literally just grab pieces from different places and build a Model T. Ours was a complete Model T, so in our mind, when we first started off, we were like, we've got a complete car, let's go across the country.
Yeah, when I started making a list of everything I thought we would need to do this trip, it was on a 3x5 index card. Now we have 3-ring binders of everything to make sure we pack in the truck or the trailer, to make sure we literally have everything we could possibly need, at least one part of everything. And people like Jay and Jeff in Texas and Dave in California have all said, hey, if you need something, we'll meet you along the way. Wes Connor said, hey, if you need an engine that you didn't bring with you, I'll load it up and bring it to you to Texas if need be. So like I said, everybody has reached out and wanted to be a part of this, and it's man, it touches your heart.
It really does. I mean, people from across the country, the Model T clubs across the country, they've been willing to do stuff too. They've reached out, said, hey, we'll bring you whatever you need. People have even said, "Hey, you can borrow a part,
Yeah.
and then when you get back to South Carolina, you can just drop it off, in the mail or whatever." Like, what? That's
Or pay us after you get home.
that's seriously something that blows my mind, because you just don't find that anymore. And I think the community is really just what has sealed my heart on always having a Model T.
Yeah, I think no matter what happens, we'll always have at least one Model T for sure. And also need to say hello to Alex. He couldn't be on here tonight. He's up in Illinois, Sandwich, Illinois, right?
Yeah.
So he couldn't be here. He's in Sandwich.
The
Illinois.
city is Sandwich.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, we got lots of comments coming through.
All right, so
Read
let's
them
hear it.
Ira Peavy, he says, I've never been more jealous and not jealous at the same time over a trip before.
Ira Peavy, what are we calling this?
Trouble. Trouble tea.
No, he'll come back with a comment in a minute, and it better be Danger Ride.
Charlie Fawcett says, how many hours do you think you have planning the trip and preparing the tea?
Yeah, it's not hours, it's weeks, and realistically probably a month. If I had to sit and actually calculate the minutes and hours that I spent per day and per night, every weekend or whatever, it's literally probably a solid month. I would say at least.
It's got to be more than that. I mean,
bare minimum.
speaking from a wife's point of view, it is every waking moment from the time he gets up in the morning. He thinks about what he has to do. We have revised and just gone over everything multiple times. Everything is just like a fluid list. We've gone through. We've thought, hey, we've got this done. Check it off. Gone back through again and been like, hey, maybe we need an extra part. Maybe we need to check this. Maybe we need to tighten this. Maybe whatever. He's gone through, and I've had to write for him.
Yeah. I'll text her, hey, write this down before you leave the house.
And keeping track of people making the donations and people, just messaging us stuff, and then Todd working on the car, and then we had to renovate the whole trailer. When we bought the trailer, we had no intention of taking it across country. Now it's upfitted for us to take it across country and stay in it. And so, I mean, there's multiple layers of this trip. And then we also had to plan, we had to make sure that the people who are going with us are going to be safe and comfortable. That meant that we had to upfit the trailer and, get a lot of things for that. And then actually planning the trip.
Yeah, I think the hardest part of this, I've been asked multiple times what you think the hardest part will be. And I think the actual route and how far we can go in a day has been the hardest thing, because I've pointed out to people before, if you go from the East Coast to the West Coast, you've got to find a safe route that's safe for a Model T, because you can't do modern highway speeds. So you want to be safe, and obviously we're going to go through different cities, towns, and such. But planning that route and say, okay, because if you look at Google Maps, it's not going to give you to go through the different communities that we're going through. So I have to go look on each map. This is a stack of part of my paper maps from every state that we're going through, and look which route. Okay, this is a safe road here. Go on YouTube, see if you can find that road on YouTube. See if it looks as safe as what you think it is. It is. Okay, let's go to the next town. Let's go to the next town, the next community, the next city. And then you say, okay, how many miles is this? How many miles is this? And add it up. And let's just say, for ease of figuring, you can go 250 miles a day. Well, straight shot, maybe you can. But when you're going through different towns and you're stopping and going, turning left, turning right, and such, it slows you down. So, okay, let's do 175 miles. Okay, where is there safe to stay? We can only stay in an Airbnb or campground or whatever. And so you might have to back up 25 miles, or you might have to go ahead 30 more miles and make for a longer day. And that's really been, that was what I second guessed myself the most on, for sure.
Well, I mean, then we had to find places to eat, places to stop, places to stay, all of that. I mean, that was not an easy task.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Are
What
y'all
you got,
ready?
Elizabeth?
Jennifer Collins wanted to let y'all know that the Southern Peach Tea's Georgia Model T Ford Club, golly, that's a big old name, can't wait to join you on the first leg of your trip. They support y'all.
We appreciate that, and they are on the back of the car trailer too.
We haven't revealed the full wrap. We haven't the full wrap trailer yet.
Jay Corman can share the picture I sent with their car club on the back.
But you guys are on the back of our trailer, and we will proudly have you back there. And thank you so much for
Thank y'all.
everything that y'all done. Thank you.
Emily Cole had a question, but I do want to say thank you for your donation the other day. I do appreciate it very much. She said, do y'all have people volunteering to let you stay at their homes?
No, we booked campgrounds, and that was part of the reason we outfitted the trailer to take 5 people and put them in a house, someone else's house that they're living in or whatever. That would have been very generous of them, and we would have visited that idea. But we booked out campgrounds. If I can remember off the top of my head, I'll run through them. So Friday the 17th, we leave Sumter and head to Hunting Island State Park, and that's on Friday or Saturday morning. We'll start the trip. We go from Hunting Island State Park to Andersonville RV Park, Andersonville, Georgia. The lady there contacted us. They donated tonight at their RV park. Then we go to, I think it's Meridian, Mississippi, a KOA, and then we go to Ruston, Louisiana, and that's our first Airbnb, and that's a 1920 something Sears farmhouse, which will be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then we go to Marshall, Texas as a campground. Dallas, Arlington is a KOA campground. Then we go to Breckenridge, Texas as an Airbnb. Carlsbad, New Mexico is a campground. We'll go to Carlsbad Caverns the following day if everything works out good. Then we're in El Paso West, I think it is, campground. And then we go to Marshall, Tombstone, Arizona, and we're staying in White Earp's actual house, which I thought was the coolest part of the trip, really. And then we go to Buckeye, Arizona, Palm Springs, California, and Dave and the Model T Club of San Diego is supposed to meet us there, and they'll take us on to the coast.
Okay, next question. Well, it's not really a question. Charlie said, talk about the museum.
Yes, on day 2, can't remember the lady's name. She contacted us about going to a car museum that's not normally open on Sunday morning, and they're going to open up specially for us. So I thought that was a really big treat. And of course, if there's any other museums that would like to be a part of this and kind of host us and let us tool around a little bit and stretch our legs, that would be spectacular.
And then there's Aunt Beth says, is Jen driving the car at all?
Wait, let me address this formally. I can drive the car. It does not drive like a normal car. You know, when you hop into a modern vehicle, I can hop into any modern vehicle, drive it. There's a learning curve with the Model T. It does for anybody who's never had experience with one. It is a learning curve. I can drive it. I'm not comfortable driving it, and so for this purpose, and everyone's safety, I will not be driving.
You know, those going with us, Jennifer, Jasmine, Philip Gebler, and Patrick are going with us, and Charlie had planned to go with us, and then we're going to really miss him. He's not going to be able to make the trip. So Charlie, we love you, and we are going to miss you.
Yes. He supports a lot of stuff we do around here.
Charlie supports all of our crazy ideas.
Yeah, Charlie's actually sponsoring our caffeine and gasoline car show at Sumter Cut next weekend, and those proceeds this year will be donated to the Hydrocephalus Association as well.
Yes. Okay, so let's go back up to the comments. Jasmine said, I'm tired already, but I'm so excited to experience this with y'all.
It's going to be fun.
I'm just kidding. Jennifer Collins says, will you be going live during parts of the trip?
Most definitely. And everything, Jennifer, if you're not following on my page already, just click follow on the Facebook page. And the YouTube channel is Main Streets and Back Roads by Todd Touchberry. If you just search Todd Touchberry on YouTube, that channel will come up and you can hit subscribe on that. And we'll put different content on there. I'm sure we'll do a lot of reels and shorts on Facebook and YouTube, Instagram, and maybe TikTok too if we have time. But it'll be longer form content on YouTube. This will go on YouTube probably tomorrow or the next day too.
A lot of people did ask if we were having like a separate page for the Coast to Coast trip. We are not. Everything's going to be hosted on Todd's page because it's a public page. My page is private. Not because I don't love y'all, but I do share some personal content on there, so we're keeping Todd's page public to let everybody follow there.
Okay, I skipped the comments just for a second because Alexander Edwards said he was here for 1 minute.
Oh,
Hey!
Good to see you.
Okay.
You missed the part where we talked about you. You'll have to go back and rewatch it now.
Sheila Bordelon said, I look forward to meeting y'all.
We look forward to meeting you. I mean, this is part of it. You know, getting to meet so many people across the country, man. This has been like really, really fun.
It's been a lot of fun. I mean, and we've joked about this since the beginning, but we were like, you know, the scene in Forrest Gump where he starts to run and then he turns around and he's got, you know, a group of people and then he turns back around and there's a bunch of people and he's got a following. I almost feel like it's kind of become part of that. And I really do like hope that happens. If you're anywhere along our trip or if you want to join us.
Yeah, whether you have a Model T or not, I don't care if you want to jump in your minivan and follow us or your SUV or whatever kind of classic car you've got, man, that would just make it that much better.
If we can caravan,
yeah.
I mean, we're totally good with that. You want to join us? You can join us.
But I gotta stay here and watch the kids.
When I say you can join us slowly.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if you want to meet us for lunch or something like that, or breakfast, or if you got suggestions.
Or if you want to bring us lunch.
Yeah, that would be better.
We like food.
I posted, I think Jay Corman shared it, posted the first 3 days of the trip, and I'll post the next 3 or 4 days in the next day or two, and then the rest of the trip and a couple more days.
Okay. Let's see. Charlie said, we appreciate the sponsors who are supporting us.
Yeah, Charlie being one of the sponsors. I don't even want to try to mention everyone because I know I would forget someone, but Charlie has sponsored just about everything I've ever done and some really crazy stuff. So, man, I love him and I appreciate everything he's done.
Not only has Charlie sponsored it, he's over here all the time.
Yeah.
He's even got stitches.
Yeah, he's got stitches to prove it. He had Model T injury number 6 or 7. I lost track.
Yeah, there's who knew that this was going to be a rough sport? There's been multiple injuries along this, and Charlie did receive one of those, and we're so sorry, Charlie.
6 or 7 injuries, a couple of tetanus shots.
Yeah, but everybody's good.
Stitches.
You can pick up all the rusty Model T parts that you want to. You're immune.
Yeah.
Emily Culp said, wow, thank you. Very interesting, and you're welcome. Charlie said after the trip, the tea will be put in a museum.
Yeah, we've talked about with Jay Corman's buddy putting it in a museum down in Georgia.
Charlie
and
said
possibly,
6.
Possibly taking people for a ride that day, making an event and everything, and leave it down there for a while.
And then.
Let's give a what would you like to do as far as museum?
Yes. We had a conversation with someone the other day that had
a connection.
A connection, yeah, we'll go with connection to the Henry Ford Museum. That would be like the ultimate. I don't think there's anything bigger than that. And I would probably just get a job there and drive Model Ts all day long.
Yeah.
So.
Hold on.
To those who haven't ever been there, we did edit a video the other day. We got a chance to, again, it was one of those things where we fell in love with the Model T, so we started exploring everything. So we had a chance to go to Detroit a year and a half ago. We went to the Greenfield Village and the Henry Ford Museum and saw all of the old plants and everything where the Model T had been made. And it just, like I'm saying, everything ignited our passion for that at that point.
Part 2 of that video will be on YouTube on Friday, and part 3 and 4 the following Fridays.
Okay. Jay said that's awesome, and he also said Miles Through Time Automotive Museum.
Yep, Miles Through Time. Yep, that's a really cool place. They have a nice museum. That guy has a nice Cadillac too. And Jay's got 1 or 2 cars in there.
I think he's got 2. Jay's got 2.
Jay, just to let you know, we voted for your Model T the other day. Let's see. Jasmine said they can DoorDash to us. Shouldn't be hard for them to catch up.
They have that new Domino's pizza delivery thing where they just drop
a pin.
Yeah.
Hey, Christy Wells.
Hey, Christy Wells.
Hey.
I hope y'all are coming to the car show. Hopefully.
I hope so too.
And Jay said 2. Yes, 2.
See,
and
I told you 2. Jay, I paid attention. See,
I was just overwhelmed.
Yeah, it is really cool.
It's a cool museum.
And they had grown a lot since last. I mean, like they moved buildings.
They recently moved, yeah.
And I don't know if you call him a docent. I guess he would be a docent or a person. Anyway, the person who runs it, the gentleman who runs it, is a very cool guy.
Yeah.
And they've acquired some unique and cool stuff, especially for not, like a small town in Georgia.
Yep.
But yeah, it's cool.
Okay, this wasn't on here, but like, tell them how many people, like, if y'all have come across people that y'all didn't know at all that had hydrocephalus or anything like that.
Yeah, again, we've run across a lot of people with family members with hydrocephalus that have come up to us at car shows and just thanked us for, you know, trying to get the word out for the hydrocephalus awareness part of it. You know, it's awareness and funds that we're trying to create, I guess.
Yeah. And we have the decals and stuff for sale.
Yeah, we've sent out decals. I wish I had brought one up here. The decals that we started sending out with our logo coast to coast on it, I think we sent them out to 20 some odd states so far. So if you know anyone, I'll list that tomorrow or the next day on my page. We would really like to hit all 50 states before this is over with getting a decal out to them.
And I write personal thank you notes.
Yeah, Elizabeth will send a thank you for that as well. So
one of our decals made a little boy made a TikTok video. It was the cutest.
It was cute.
I'm kind of just waiting.
All right, if y'all got any more questions, we'll answer them. Hopefully, I get asked all the time, what do I think the worst thing that could happen is? I mean, obviously, if we got in a collision of any type or whatever, but you know, away from that, I am a little bit concerned about weather. You know, if we have a little bit of rain, I'm okay. Got rain pants, rain jacket, rain boots, everything, goggles, and so I'm not so much worried about the cold as I am the. I mean, I guess we could possibly hit snow, but I don't think we will. In December, we'll do another video talking about the 2 feet of snow that we went through since I said that.
Well, and just because we are a month out, we have started to kind of like look at the weather trends, and we've just picked random places along our route and been like, hey, what's the weather like, you know, in Meridian, Mississippi today or whatever, and we've just been like, hey, let's see what it is, and we've been a little shocked.
Yeah.
So I'm not real sure if we need to plan on air conditioner or heat, but
probably both.
Yeah. But we're going to be prepared for it all. At least Todd will be. So the Model T that we have is there's no doors. It's open.
Yeah, it's a homemade body on it. The way I understood it, I'm sure most of you have seen it by now. There's no doors on the little red truck, and that was part of the reason I chose that rather than the touring car, because I could stretch my leg out. So I was told. The guy that restored it as he acquired it, and it was made into a truck during World War II so that the family could get more gas rations. And so they went out to Uncle Henry's chicken coop and got parts off his Model T pickup, put on theirs car, and so they got more gas rations and they could get around town a little bit more.
Some of the documentation that we got with the car was handwritten notes shoved down into where the gas tank is. So the gas tank actually sits up underneath the seat, and the seat is plyboard and a little bit of cushion. So imagine, you know, driving a vehicle on a wooden bench. Basically, that's kind of what we're dealing with, which leads to us having to get several cushions and things like that, because sitting on a bench for 10 hours is not the funnest idea.
All right, any more questions?
Your sister needs to get off here.
Beth, we're going to log you out of Facebook.
Have you guys taken acting lessons in anticipation of your increased followers with this trip?
We're naturals.
Yeah, we'll. I'll be hiring an agent soon. Beth, you want that job, Beth?
Actually, we're hoping that there's going to be a made-for-TV movie.
Actually, I'll touch this. I'm sure Jennifer doesn't want me to, but Alex had jumped on here a little while ago. He wants to. help us out with a book possibly in the future with this too.
I was fixing
Talking about the Model T and Hydrocephalus and how we're preparing for this and everything. And I'm, again, just honored at the people that have reached out to try to help in any kind of way.
Who's going to play you in the made-for-TV movie?
If I name any actor right now, they're either dead or retired. So I don't know anyone modern. I just have to play myself.
Okay.
Who would play you?
Gosh, I don't know. Who do you...
Jenny McCarthy?
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm good with that. All right.
Burt Reynolds will come back and play me.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right.
If Burt Reynolds plays you, then I'm playing me.
Fair enough.
All right.
Emily Kolb said, I guess I need a decal for my car.
Come by tomorrow or anytime this week and I'll make sure I have one for you.
Beth said yes.
Spectacular. Get the contracts ready.
Good, because I wasn't listening to what y'all were saying. Jasmine said, I don't need classes, I'm just famous by association. Sheila Borderline said, will Todd's wife ride in the Model T with him?
Yeah, everyone that goes with us is going to take a turn riding with me. Just for, I don't want to be by myself all the time.
But your butt
again,
will hurt.
Yeah, my butt will hurt. Again, taking turns gives me different conversation. I've got a playlist like with a couple thousand songs on it probably also we'll be listening to. And again, it depends on the weather too. You know, if it's just too cold and rainy and nasty, I don't want everyone to get sick. And that's another fear too, is getting sick and not being able to complete it. I think that's my absolute biggest fear, is getting sick before this thing starts or during it. But you know, as they say, come hell or high water, we're going to do everything we can to complete this.
There's going to be some places that you're going to have to drive by yourself.
Yeah. If it's hilly or long stretches of road, I'll probably definitely be by myself.
So the Model T doesn't really go up an incline super fast.
It doesn't do anything fast.
No, it doesn't do anything fast, but it really doesn't go up the hill fast. So.
Beth said Costner.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Costner?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yes.
I'll have to Google that afterwards. I don't have a clue.
That's it for a second. I'm just waiting on it to catch up.
We do need to talk a little bit about the people of the Hydrocephalus Association have been really kind to us as well. They're checking on our progress. They gave us a spot at the walk.
Yeah, walk over in Columbia.
And they're sending us t-shirts.
Yep.
Todd is modeling one. And I do have mine too, but I came from a school event. So I did not have time to put mine on. But we will all, the whole team is going to be sporting some Hydrocephalus t-shirts.
Yeah, and I've got a couple other ones from other teams or whatever. Yeah, and again, if there's any other teams that want to send us a shirt that do the Hydrocephalus walk, I'd be more than honored to wear your shirt for part of the trip.
And we've met a lot of the people we've met a lot of families affected by hydrocephalus at the walks as well. We've met a lot of people just in passing, but Elizabeth has always had a passion for kind of raising funds for those who aren't as fortunate as she is, because I'm gonna brag on her for a minute. She graduated college in May, and she carries a full-time job. She's had a job. You've had a job since you were probably, what, 15, 16? 15. Yeah, 15. And she's 22 now. And she's doing great with everything.
I got my associate's degree.
She got her associate's degree. We're super proud of her. And not everybody has that success story.
Nope, definitely not. So, any more questions?
How many gallons of gas does it hold? How many miles per gallon?
Good question. 10 gallons of gas. And I think the fuel mileage will change from day 1, 2, and 3 to the time we get out in East and West Texas, all of Texas. And we're running flat out. I really don't have a clue what it'll get then. I don't know if it'll go up or down. especially with the new engine that we have.
What kind of gas?
Yeah, I try to run as much non-ethanol as I can. So again, if you're on the route and you know of a gas station that sells non-ethanol gas, please let us know for sure. We'll bring 10 or 15 gallons with us, but that'll run out, and we'll try to keep it topped off with non-ethanol if we can. That's just my preference.
Okay, next question is, Elizabeth, are you on the ride too? And I came around here to say no, I'm the babysitter. I can't go on that because, like I said, your butt's gonna be hurting and I can't do that. I don't have much of one, so.
So, everyone that's going on a trip will have a purpose. Like I said, we need to streamline it as much as possible. And, everyone will have their own duties, I guess, to keep track of our stops, our spending, fuel mileage, maintenance on the Model T, and as well as maintenance on the truck the Phillips that we're using.
And a shout out to everybody who's taking care of the kids while we're going also. So Elizabeth's joking about being left behind as a babysitter, but she truly is helping us a lot. And we have some great babysitters and friends that are helping out keeping the kids at home while we're gone. This is the longest we've ever been away from everybody. Yep. So this I'm thankful that I was able to get time off, and they were very understanding and very supportive, and everybody's just been super great about it. I never thought that I would be taking 2 weeks off to do something like this.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay.
There's not a work excuse for that.
Anymore?
Aunt Beth said, super proud of all of you and love you. And will you take the same route home?
Most definitely not. There would have to be an awful lot of fun donations to even attempt to come back. There is a record coast to coast to coast, but like I said, not on this trip. We'll be trailering it back. Again, that's part of the reason we have the 24-foot car trailer, and the girls will fly back, and the tentative plan is for myself, Patrick, and Philip to trailer it back and make 2 or 3 stops on the way and get on back here and get back to work.
Okay. And Jasmine said, in there for moral support and cosmetic relief. She's the breakfast cook, okay? They've already nominated her for cooking breakfast.
Yeah, Jasmine will be cooking a lot for us for breakfast for sure, and some dinners and probably lunch.
Charlie says, just because I'm not going on the trip doesn't mean I'm a babysitter. My support ends there. That's what I should have said.
Charlie, you have always done what we have asked of you, so I don't know why you're stopping now. What day do you want? What night?
All of them.
Any more?
No, but you want to kind of, not right this second, but you want to talk about maybe if you're in need of like gas cards and stuff like that, if people don't want to do like a monetary donation,
Yeah, people
or
have,
do receipts for fetch.
Yeah, people have brought me receipts for fetch or whatever, and we've used those for Amazon gift cards. And I mean, that's just, everyone goes and buys things or whatever. So we've had people bring receipts. I scan them and transfer them to Amazon gift cards. There are Amazon links on the YouTube videos. We get a little small kickback on those if you use that to get to Amazon. People have donated gas cards. Alex has donated, that came on a little while ago, he's donated multiple. People have just come by and, handed me a couple of dollars, or, in some cases a large amount of cash, and to help with parts and everything. Man, it's just, like I said, I'm just totally blown away by the support this thing is rendered. So, if that's all, we'll wrap it up.
I'm just waiting because, like I said, it delays for a minute, so people might be typing. What about, like, you said you wanted like Piggly Wiggly cards and stuff like that too? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, all right, well, if that's it, we appreciate y'all watching, and you can watch this on Facebook for a while, and like I said, we'll upload it to YouTube probably tomorrow.
Also, if you watch us after the live, just put in replay and then put your question in. We'll type an answer back to you.
Yeah.
If you didn't get your question answered or if you missed the live.
You didn't tell them to subscribe to your YouTube channel to follow.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Jay Corman says the Model T family is very generous and supportive.
Yes, they are. And he's right there at the top for sure.
Absolutely.
Man, it was a pleasure to meet him. He's from Georgia and we're in South Carolina, but we had to go all the way to Indiana to meet him. So just the way it worked out.
He said, good luck in the Southern Peach Tees Georgia Model T Club. We'll see you on day 1.
Sounds good to us, for sure.
We're looking forward to it.
So,
That'll make a fun caravan.
yeah, we'll.
And some good pictures.
I love Georgia.
Yep.
I love Georgia. It's
All right.
different.
All right. Any more?
Pat Evans says, God's got this.
We appreciate all
Absolutely.
the prayers.
Thank
We've
you.
I've had multiple people just walk up to us and say we'll be praying for you, and that means as much as anything.
Yeah.
Just make sure.
I mean, we what's that?
So, all right, well that's it.
No, you gotta wait just a minute. Charlie said Elizabeth is lucky to have such great support. Yes, I am.
She's always had a good support team, for sure.
And my mom's like not going, but you know she's a good supporter too as well. She's kind of behind the scenes as well with me.
Yeah,
She's right down the road if I need her for these children.
she's all Elizabeth's mom, and I'm stepmom to Elizabeth. I don't know if I know we've said that in other videos, but I'm stepmom to Elizabeth, and her mom has been very supportive of everything with this too.
Yep.
Yes. I don't think.
That's right. All right.
All right. Thank you guys. Like I said, if you missed the live, please just put in the comment replay and your question. We'll type back with an answer. Follow us on all of the platforms. Main Streets and Back Roads on YouTube. Facebook is Todd Touchberry. TikTok is Todd Touchberry. Search Todd Touchberry. Instagram Todd Touchberry, and we're posting everything on those. We do not have anything specifically for this trip, so if you'll just follow him, his pages are going to be public, and follow those pages. And thank you again for your support and for watching.
Yep. Thank y'all.